hotspot because I have like internet issues. So hopefully it'll be fine. We'll see. I feel like this is all sort of being held together with tape and wishes. But yeah.
Pretty much.
You have no idea.
Yeah.
The Opwow way.
Yeah.
Yes. And as you guys can tell, my voice is still suffering.
Really? I could.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah. Yes, for the listeners at home, I lost my voice last Friday, so it's been a whole week. And of course, screaming and the dry air in Montana did not help, screaming at all the shows. And then I was convinced to go to a karaoke night last night, so that didn't help either.
It is important for listeners to note that Holly lost her voice before the first show.
Yes.
Yeah, I was sick, so I was already kind of on my way. And then, yeah, just nothing about the weekend helped it at all in that respect. But that's fine.
That just means it was a good weekend.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm pretty much nearly convinced to go to the New York shows at this point. So.
Hell yeah.
So some news for our Minneapolis listeners. Chance I'm going to both of those shows. So
Ooh.
we'll see. I was talking. I went. My cousin was doing a vintage market here in Nashville today. So I went and hung out with him for like an hour or so, and I like counted out like the potential shows that I could go to this year. 14. 14.
Oh, shit.
It could happen. We'll see.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, all I've been thinking about for like the rest of the week, I'm like at work going, oh, I have so many tasks to do. And I'm like, but you know how much Time Crisis I could be listening to right now? So much. Yeah. Like, I've been very, very, I don't know, motivated in a good way, bad way to just, that's all I think about. One track mind.
I don't know about you two, but I was at work today and I was like, why isn't that just my life?
Mm-hmm.
That would be better.
Yeah. I'm like, I could spend, like all of my time doing that. I'm like, I don't really think about like my friends or family or whatever. I was just like, this is fine. I'm like, I don't need to see them ever again. That's whatever. I'll just hang out with Vampire Weekend fans. And I mean, amazing videos from like everybody. There was so many great videos, and Evie got like the whole request section for Saturday. That I maybe Sunday too. I didn't watch the Sunday one.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see the parts where he picked my request.
Yeah. Let's get into that though. What request did you pick and why?
So I had 3 requests. And the first one I held up was bed sheets, which I believe he saw and ignored several times, which is fine because honestly, I don't want to hear them play bed sheets. Or what's the song actually called? Like I forgot.
Shape of You.
Shape of You. Yes.
Bed sheet.
Shape of. I don't really care to hear them play that. I was mostly holding it up, for the meme.
For the bit.
Yeah, for the bit. But that's fine that he ignored that. And the next one I held up was Maggie May, because I know he loves that song. And then he said, oh, I love that song. And then they did that. And then the next one was Mac the Knife, which I figured he'd get a kick out of. So that was fun to hear. Yeah.
And he did.
What were your guys' requests for night one? Like, did you hold any signs up?
I got Here Comes the Sun, which...
Oh, right. Yeah, that was...
I always wanted to hear them play it because they used to play with 8 Minute Cape Cod. He didn't seem that enthusiastic about it, but whatever.
It was cute, though. I mean, they played it well.
He knew all the words.
Yeah, there you go.
Which is that's a big
thing.
Yeah,
that's big. Yeah, for sure.
And then I unwisely did not make a sign for Saturday. So no requests for me. But yeah, I think hearing like the 2 minutes of Creep instead of 45 seconds of Creep, and that was a solid Creep.
It was very good.
Like that was I would say.
I agree. Yeah, I watched it again today. It's fantastic.
I did too. Yeah,
I'll have to
it was
watch
pretty
it back.
awesome.
It was very good. It was really, really good. Did you have requests then for Sunday?
I did. I requested Mountain Brews because
Right.
like we're in the mountains. We're at a brewery.
Exactly.
Why are you not just playing Mountain Brews? But not everyone apparently thought that was
I
as like
was screaming
good of
on
a
the other end of the barrier, like on the other side of the stage. Yeah, when that one got picked, I was like trying to hype up Mountain Brews because everyone was like,
which
"Oh,
was
what is
it
that?"
was also very awesome because like Ezra like took out his monitors to hear me because my voice was also like pretty shot.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was like we have to make it happen. And yeah, so I was for the culture.
Yeah, there was a little bit of dare I say fuckery with the signs.
Yeah, there was
Sunday.
fuckery with the sign.
That's being diplomatic about it, Holly.
Yeah, for the listeners, we were writing on pieces of just like regular printer paper, 8.5 by 11. The song request because that's much easier for the band to see, and also for everyone in the audience. You don't have to like scream over each other. But apparently, I guess, I don't know, someone complained from the Saturday night. So the staff were told no signs. And so we weren't allowed to hold them up. And then even when I was holding it just like in front of my chest or my face, not like blocking anyone's view that wasn't already blocked by my body, they said no to that too. So that was a little annoying.
And I believe I was told that by the security guy in front of us that like somebody from the band said that, or somebody from like the band's management said that, because I was like, okay, no sign, fine. So I like took out my phone and got on like Instagram stories and just like wrote Mountain Brews and like held it up like in front of my chest, and they're like, no, not doing it, which was pretty BS. But
I feel like that's not true.
It doesn't seem true.
Yeah. It does. Yeah,
I was told it was because of blocked views, quote unquote.
Yeah,
Which seems
but,
more likely of a thing for them to like, I don't know, be adamant about. But I'm like, it's for like 2 seconds. You're not like blocking. You're not holding up the paper when they're playing. I don't know. Yeah, it was strange. But yeah.
We got our requests. Other people got some good requests.
Yes, and you guys both got shout outs on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
awesome.
that was pretty surreal.
It's like that meme where you're like at a party and you're at one side of the room, like
exactly.
they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know I'm the dog.
Yeah. No, that's how I felt after like the Austin show, and I just had to like go back to regular life, and I was like, I had like at least 50 people be like, oh my gosh, you're the Wiki, like, oh, it's so excited to meet you, thank you for your service. And then I have to like go back to work and my friends who like don't give a shit.
Yeah. I think you posted that meme. I'm just stealing it from you.
Oh, that's fine. I stole it from someone.
Yeah, no, shout out to if you're listening, Riley and Hillary, I believe, is your significant other's name. But yeah, they got those shirts from the swap meet.
Nice.
On Saturday and wore them Sunday. Ezra shouted out the Prep School Gangsters shirt before Prep School Gangsters, which was pretty awesome. Like, honestly, kind of crazy. Like, got a little head nod from him, and he's like, "Who made this?" I was like, "Me." And he was like, "Hell yeah!" So that was pretty tight.
I saw that guy walk in, before the show started, and I saw him in that shirt, and I was like, I'm like, that's so cool that he's there, like in the shirt that you made. I just thought that was really cool. Yeah.
On the drive back, we were speculating that perhaps the Madison Square Garden show would be like the same set list but different versions.
Ooh, interesting.
Which
That's
makes
cool.
sense because I guess that was sort of the question that we posed was like,
why are they doing these morning versions?
yeah, and is that a repeat? Like if you get Mary Boone at night and then you get daytime Mary Boone during the day, like is that a repeat?
I would say yes, and I feel like, I don't know. My guess would be Ezra would also say yes. I think that qualifies as a repeat. I think they have enough songs. They have enough songs that they can do 2 no repeats shows.
They could,
except for A-Punk. Yeah. In episode 49, it was Giving Up the Gun was the only one that they were going to repeat, which I think is funny.
Damn.
Which that would be, dude.
That would be tight.
Dude.
They got 3 versions
Regular
now.
Giving Up the Gun, then Lovely Gun for matinee would be so
Giving up
sick.
the ska gun.
We're both less pumped on that version,
Yeah.
but
I didn't
Ska
listen
gun
to that. I heard a little bit of Scottiman, like recorded from the Hollywood Bowl show, but that was mostly a surprise. Daytime Mary Boone was absolutely a surprise. I think, Alex, you saw my face when they were sound checking that. I was like, what is this?
We
You were
were
like,
both
did you not
freaking
listen to
out
this?
about
We
I'm
both
like,
watched
no.
tapes of it, and we were very excited to get that one.
I heard somebody else call it Folky Boone.
I think that was Winter, perhaps.
Yeah. Folky Boone. I like Folky Boone.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah. I mean, that version was really fun. All the like daytime versions that they played were really fun. I think I liked the Sunday set list better than the Saturday set list, but I mean, they were both such different shows that I don't know if I prefer one show more than another.
As far as double headers go, I mean, that's the ideal concert experience. And I know we've talked about dog. I know we've talked about.
Don't listen to the last episode.
I know we've talked about that Vampire Weekend is an outdoor band. Yeah. I believe Vampire Weekend is an outdoor, like while the sun's out band.
Yeah, agree.
Because there's just something about. I mean, especially like even night one, like most of the show, the sun was out.
Right, because, I loved the bit where, so they're about to do the regular Mary Boone, and he has his little, like, light stick or whatever. And he was like, this part of the show was intended to be performed in complete darkness. Imagine it dark. It was still, like, fairly light outside.
Not waiting until it gets light to do it. Just be like, okay, imagine it's dark outside. I love that.
It still wasn't completely dark, like, when the show ended on Saturday
which was
either.
crazy. But
the sun in Montana was like kind of fucking me up a little bit.
Shout out to
in many ways.
Shout out to sunrise and sunset times in Montana.
Hell yeah,
that was so sick.
Crazy. Yeah, I mean it was gorgeous up there. God, what was I gonna say? The technical difficulties were like kind of funny, and like honestly, even some things that didn't maybe work out, like it wasn't dark when he was doing Mary Boone, or it's kind of fun to like see those things because it's like, oh, this is like a unique like live experience. That was cool. Although I was disappointed that they had to take the banner down on Sunday because of wind.
Would you say that was your biggest disappointment?
Yeah, maybe. Because there was a bit of a, not a kerfuffle, but there was some, I don't know, commotion or something going on Saturday night. Which interrupted my viewing experience of the banner being dropped on Saturday. So I was like, that's fine. I'll see it tomorrow. And then they didn't do it because it was way too windy. But that's fine. I mean, I saw the event. I saw it, in Dallas just from very far away. So that's fine. I'm going to more shows. There'll be more times.
Buddy.
There'll be more
Yeah,
opportunities.
which ones, Holly? Which ones?
For sure, Austin, and we'll see.
Anything else?
MSG.
Okay, at this point, I do want to go. I just gotta I gotta talk to my cousin and see if she'll let me stay with her or something, and look at what times the flights are. I'm pretty I'm going. I'm going.
Okay, well,
I'll be there.
Well, Holly just said she's going. I guess official announcement. I'm going to MSG.
Yeah, I've been cyberbullied yet again. Toxic community.
If you guys don't want Pitt, because it's like $270 for Pitt.
It's quite a lot, yeah.
Yeah, we could get seats together at some point.
I'd be very down. I don't want to sit, by myself. Next to some randos.
Yeah, so that swap meet. I don't want to post about this and set unrealistic expectations for future swap meets, but
we did have a
special
very
guest.
Special guest. Yeah.
A very special guest.
Yeah.
Who wants to give the... Yeah.
The man.
The man.
Yeah, the man, the myth, the legend. Yeah, that was really crazy. And also, it was so funny because we were almost done, kind of. It was winding down, and we're all just standing there in a circle. He walks up and joins the circle, and at first I was like, "Oh, cool! Like another guy has, here for the swap meet." And then I recognized him. I was like, "Oh shit, what's up?"
I was talking to a couple of people. Actually, this guy like introduced me to his parents, which was like what? But
So soon.
I like right. I turned my head and I'm like, hey, hang on, and I turned my head again and I was like, oh, dude, I think that's. He's like, whoa, what? It's like, yeah, that man is over there.
Yeah, sorry, guy. Fuck your parents. This is more important.
Yeah. It was so lovely meeting you. I'm gonna go talk.
Yeah. I know. It was like I didn't really have much to say to him. Very cool that he showed up. I was just like, yeah, what's up, man?
Alexander, what was your biggest disappointment in Bonner from the shows? Not from your car.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't in Bonner. That was in Sinclair, Wyoming. Shout out Sinclair, Wyoming. No, my biggest disappointment. I don't know. I really wanted to see which this is like very like low stakes, but I really wanted to see the psychedelic Ariel banner. That was like I don't know. I mean, like the plain like black and white VW, pretty cool. But like I wanted to see the psychedelic Ariel banner, and then I mean it's always a long shot because it's a B-side, but like I really wanted a giant. I would have loved a giant. So.
Yeah, I think Winter was talking about that on the last episode, right? He wanted giant as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's a give
I
the people what they
hear
want.
giant.
Give them what they want.
Yeah.
Pizza party.
I love how he's kind of grumpy about pizza party. He's like very reluctant, and I'm like, the people love it.
On the unaired episode, Winter's like, he was in the pit and he had a pizza party sign and he was like, I'm not going to do it.
I mean, yeah, honestly, like they should break out the full version sometime.
Madison Square Garden, no repeats.
Yeah.
We did
there
on the
you
way
go.
back. We did do a full 4-track Lomron run through.
Nice.
Bangers.
Nice.
All of them.
Bangers, all bangers.
all killer, no filler on
They're
the
great.
Lomron discography.
Yeah, they're great.
Vampire Weekend is my favorite Lomron cover band.
Yeah.
So, what was your biggest disappointment?
Biggest disappointment. I would have really liked to hear The Surfer, but it's kind of a two-sided coin because now I get to hear The Surfer for the first time later.
Yeah.
Like that's still out there. Also, Pravda,
Yeah.
like the real version. Didn't get that, but I'll get to hear that later.
But
Oh,
also
yeah.
daytime Pravda.
Daytime Pravda.
It's
Oh my
so
God.
sick.
That was really
Yeah.
good. I had made a sign that said in Russian, I love Vampire Weekend, which is Я люблю Vampire Weekend. And I was going to hold it up. But then they were, I got scared about the no
Yeah.
signs. So
Yeah, you're the reason because it was in Russian. That's why they said no signs.
What's this lady doing?
Whoa, no more signs.
I had it translated at the bottom. Just it's very innocent, I promise.
For both of us, biggest disappointments were not hearing songs that hopefully we get to hear later.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I wish that they would have played Yahe on
Yeah.
Sunday to end
Yeah.
with. I was losing my goddamn mind when they played Worship You because I was saying that all day. I was like, Worship You is like one of my favorites. If they played that would be amazing. And that was the closer, and I was fucking like screaming, jumping around. I was so excited. I was out of breath because I was like singing along. I was like, I don't know how he sings that fast. I know the words, but I'm like, I can't enunciate that quickly. It's impressive.
Yeah, it seems as if on Sunday there, because on the set list it said Yahe GTD, which means Game Time Decision.
Right.
That they skipped it to give us covers, which I believe, Holly, you're disappointed in because you wanted Yahe. But for me, I was like, that's awesome that they were like, oh, these people want covers. Again.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's like hot takes out there about the covers section. I 99% support. It was just, it was that, I'm like, oh my God, hey though. And like, if I had to choose between the two at that particular show, I would have voted for Yahe.
I think that 99% number is optimistic, but if you're on the if you're listening right now and you're on the sub posting hate about the request section, first of all, knock it off.
Knock it off.
Knock it off. I won't stand for it.
Yeah.
But genuinely, like, if you're hating on it, like, have you been to a show yet where they've done it? Because like, it's one of the most fun things. Like, it's
so cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. I think it's a very fun, like, audience interaction thing. And I also, so I guess we can kind of segue into this, but like, it's them trying things that they like truly haven't done before.
Mm-hmm.
And something that one of the guys that I guess was working the venue, and I were talking about, was that like nobody else is really doing what Vampire is doing as far as like making a conscious decision to do new versions of the songs and like experiment and like not just play the same version, the same set list every time.
Mm-hmm.
And he literally said, he was like, no other band is doing this. And that was like, I don't know, weirdly like validating as a fan. Because,
I mean, like, it's very impressive to not only like, change up the set list so much. I think that alone is kind of impressive in a way. So they have that, and then they're doing like new versions during the tour, that they're breaking out new versions of songs in the middle of touring, which is crazy. And then, doing new sections like Cocaine Cowboys, trying something new, doing like games and involving the audience is awesome. And then, also like the covers section is very impressive in it's sort of like experimental, it's audience involvement. And then it sort of shows off how talented that, everyone there is, that they're able to just like, oh yeah, I know that song. Oh, what key is it in? Okay, great. And then they play it. I mean, whether or not they know like the whole song or whatever, but it's very impressive. So I think, those four things combined is like amazing. It's it's a unique show every single time because of those things.
As you've said, Holly, best band around.
Best band around.
Best band around. No way around that. Yeah, like no other show is going to get, I mean, I would assume not. No other show is going to get like a Paper Planes into Baba O'Reilly.
Yeah. Like with a Sweet Jane tease.
Like ever, probably. Like that was, and then at the same time, like all three of those songs are songs that I would love to hear like fully fleshed out by the band. And that's the cool thing is like, part of me wonders too, is like, is this request thing, is this just like a first leg exclusive where they're like, okay, like seeing what gets requested and like what the audience likes when we play it. And then, kind of the ones that they like the most, they're actually going to incorporate. I don't know. That's pure speculation. But, like, part of me wonders,
like... That's a fun theory.
Especially since we got the snippet of Sister of Pearl on Saturday and then full Sister of Pearl on Sunday, which, again, was sick.
That was really cool.
That just kind of made me wonder that is, like, hey, maybe, like, the most kind of popular one, and especially, again, Creep, that was requested before. We got a longer version this time.
I think I could definitely see them incorporating some of these requests, but I feel like they'll keep doing the request section.
Long live the request section.
Yeah, please.
Yes.
As Winter said on the last episode that you two haven't heard yet because I haven't published it yet, the show ends with hope, and then it's just them having fun.
Yeah, that's a cool way to think about it.
Maybe a hot take. I'm glad we didn't get hope on Sunday.
I agree. It's a long song. I love it.
I mean, I like that it was changed.
But you could fill that with
what was
covers.
their
with covers.
last song before the like encore? I don't remember.
Harmony Hall.
Yeah, Harmony Hall.
Oh, okay.
Because you have the H section, Hannah Hunt, Harmony Hall, Hope.
Yeah, strong H section.
But yeah, I think that like not having that on Sunday, that's 8 minutes of the set that you, and plus like more with like the drawn out exit, like that's more time that you have to do stuff in the encore. So I think, for doubleheader weekends, like that makes, or for doubleheader shows, I think it makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like the song, and then also the way that they're sort of performing it with it's very dramatic and has the like long ending where they all walk out one by one, which is awesome.
Yeah,
it's so cool. I love that. But that feels like appropriate for nighttime. I think it would be less dramatic, and it would be maybe less of an impression in the daytime. Not by a lot, but like I just feel like it in the dark is like that. Yeah, it should be in the dark. It should be dark outside.
Holly has a repairman in her apartment, and she's gotta go talk to him now. So we're just looking at her spoons.
That is a very thorough spoon collection.
How many we got there? 3, 6, 9. It's like about 12 a row, 36, almost 48.
No, almost 60.
Almost
60. Yeah. Damn, what you know?
Solid.
It's a lot of
spoons. Yeah. We got to get her another
spoon rack.
Spoon rack. She's going to love that part. Holly, have you seen the Talking Heads movie Stop Making Sense?
I've seen a lot of parts of it. I've never sat down and watched it all the way through, but I've seen a good amount of it. Yeah.
You have homework now.
You have
off-wow homework.
Okay,
I will give you my HBO Max if you don't have it.
Oh, it's on Max? Oh,
It's
okay,
on
I'll
Max.
watch it tonight.
There seems to be a lot of inspiration.
I can absolutely see that. I mean, the sort of the color scheme in everyone's clothes. And then I see that definitely.
Also in the they're almost taking it further than he did with like the vests and the crew being very visible during the show, but just the idea of showing the behind the scenes kind of thing is evident in like the beginning and end of Stop Making Sense.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I can see that. Absolutely. I think I said this on the last episode that I was on, but I love that they have the stage crew in the vests and that they're like part of the show. Because I mean, I'll just repeat whatever I said, but it was because normally it's like they run on real quick and then they run off and you're not really supposed to pay attention to them in any type of way. But yeah, having them dressed up like that it's like an extra step to complete the the world of the show. It's it's really cool. We are in Water Tunnel 3. There are workers here. It's an active construction environment.
And then also like with the flower moon that we got, like I thought it was cool, like oh, it's SNL, but also like like shouting out the crew like that. I thought was as a former backstage worker, I really like appreciated that. In addition to it just like being like a cool way to end the show. I thought it was great that they are like here's the crew. Like I thought that was really fun.
I thought that was cool. I was impressed that they all clapped the entire time. Like they all had. I'm like they must have had to rehearse this because they were doing like claps on like specific beats, which is not like a difficult clap or whatever. But it's just I was like, oh, they did it the whole time.
Yeah.
The whole way through. Even when like the band gets the audience to clap, I'm gonna stop clapping after a little bit, maybe even before they want me to. I'm like, I got it.
Yeah. It was a moderate difficulty clap, to be fair.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like regular, on the 2 or the 4. It was there was some rhythm to it, and they did it the whole way through. I was impressed.
In your Russian studies, did you study any Russian film?
A little bit.
Ziga Vertov at all?
Oh man, it's been a while. That doesn't sound familiar.
There's this thing dawning on me that he had this style called cinema verite, which is obviously in French.
Oh, yeah, I know about that. I believe.
And he would basically in his film show the way the film was made. Mm-hmm. And now I'm like, the Russian word for truth.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they're showing how the show is made.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, but I mean that's a hunch.
I mean that's cool. Whether or not that was like intentional, I think that's really cool. And I also can see it being intentional. and like, I mean, I don't know, just some of the like things that Ozar talks about on Time Crisis. I'm like, how did you make these connections in your brain? I would have never thought about that. And he just like reads really weird and interesting stuff, and I'm like, oh, I've never heard of this thing. Why did you read a whole, I mean, I don't know if it was a book or an article about Water Tunnel 3, but he was like, oh, I read this thing and it was like so interesting, and he talked about it for like a bit, and I was like, oh, okay.
You know, his
right.
Wikipedia search history goes crazy.
Oh my god, like,
do you think he donates?
I think he donates.
Yeah, he probably
donates.
I'm sure he does. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Water Tunnel 3 is actually a top search on the Time Crisis wiki right now.
Yeah, which episode do they talk about it?
Okay, let's do some live wiki work. Give me 1 second.
Live wiki.
Yeah, live wiki work. It was the same episode as that they were talking about the Brooklyn Bridge, I think. It was recent. Oh, give me 2 seconds. Let's see. I think it was 211 as the crew becomes classical, because they're talking about like the Lincoln Tunnel and the Brooklyn Bridge, and all this kind of stuff. And then they also talk about the song Classical and the music video and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure it's that one. I did not include Water Tunnel 3 in the page for the episode, but I'm pretty sure it's that one.
Now I'm learning that your Instagram caption, Alexander from the Eclipse swap meet, might not have been a wholly original.
No, it was not. It was not.
I'm disappointed, but I still like it.
I just thought it was I thought it was a good sentiment. You know?
It was a good sentiment. I made my post that song because of that sentiment. Yeah.
No, that was a very funny like mix up. It's like Jake's like genuine, just like, yeah, the crew with time becomes classical. I felt like I love that, and like I think
I love that he genuinely thought that was the lyric.
Yeah,
and that he was shouting out the Crisis crew in a song, which is not outside of the realm of possibility, but he was like, oh, that's not the lyric.
You're not talking about us.
What?
Yeah.
What about Vampire?
Yeah. What about Time Crisis, man? But yeah, I think that this show, this weekend, this vampire weekend that we've had in Montana has proven that sentiment, because like we got to see you again, we got to see all these people that we met in Austin,
Evie, Val, Rachel,
yeah,
that we Rhett that we've met, and
I missed somebody, I'm sure.
Alicio, if he had been able to,
Eli,
if he had been able to attend, but I think that was something that I was like talking to my cousin about today, because I'm trying to convince him to just to come to Nashville. He lives in Chattanooga, which is like 2 hours away. Like, dude, you got to.
You'd be foolish not to see Vampire Weekend.
Is this the same cousin that was in Austin with you?
No, different cousin. Same. Oh. This is his brother.
Got it.
But I think like just building like this community of like really like diehard people. Like I feel like this almost like a responsibility to be like, hey, like you better show up for this,
Yeah.
Like there is
responsibility to cyberbully people or in-person people. And to
hang out and have a good time and listen to some great music, because like I don't know, I mean, we had our fair share of difficulties, but like I was just like sitting in the car before and any good news came around, and I was just like, well, like I've had a good weekend.
Yeah, life can't be that bad.
Life can't be that bad.
Got a shout out on stage.
Yeah, it's like, well, whatever happens after this, like whatever. Like I've had a good weekend, and I've gotten to see some very special people to me, and like that's the crew becoming classical. Like I don't know. I think they're just the band bringing all of these very different people together, I think is so awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, it was so cool in Austin, like to meet everyone, And I'm like, oh, I know your username. Like, we've DM'd a couple of times. And that was, like, so fun just to talk to the people for the first time about Vampire Weekend and have them be interested in whatever I was saying. But then, like, this time around, I was like, I know you guys. Like, we met. I remember talking to you. We already kind of hung out for a weekend previously in April. So it didn't feel like I was like, oh, I'm meeting, like, internet friends or other fans. It was like, these are my friends, I was like, I'm like, oh, it's like you guys again, what's up?
Yeah. And like, the responsibility to like keep that going, I think.
Yeah
Vampire Weekend roadies.
Yeah.
It's a road report.
It's a road report.
Absolutely.
We've all been to multiple Vampire Weekend shows now.
Mm-hmm.
Holly, what are your top 3 Vampire Weekend shows that you've been to?
Well, probably these past 2 in Montana, and then the Austin Eclipse show.
Hell yeah.
Father the
What's
Bride.
number 1?
What's number 1? Oh my God. I'm not gonna choose one. I'm not gonna put one on top. I don't know. I don't like ranking things that way. I don't know. I'm like, these are for sure the top 3, but I don't know.
How many have you been to?
Wait, 7? Wait. I swear it was 7, but now I'm like, am I miscounting? I don't know. Come back to me.
Alexander, what are your top 3 Vampire Weekend shows of all time?
So, yeah, I've been to 5. Nashville 2019. Okay. That's the first show that I went to.
Right.
And then Music Midtown 2019 Eclipse show. Can't believe I had to wait 5 years to see my favorite band again. It's pretty messed up of them to do that.
Yeah.
Most of us did.
and then the 2 shows in Montana. And I would say definitely number 1 is Montana Sunday. I mean, that was pretty unreal. Yeah. Number 2, I think I have to go with Music Midtown because I met Ezra at that show, which was
is that when you gave him the jersey?
That is when I gave him the Lord Hadaway jersey. And also, like, we did a re-listen or 2 of that in the car because I have the set downloaded on my phone.
Nice.
VampireWeekend.net, download it. It's a great show. But yeah, because that show, I mean, great New Dorp with Brian, great Sunflower with Brian, great White Sky with Brian.
Oh shit, yeah.
Worship You into Yahweh at the end. Like that's one of my favorite things is when they're playing at a festival and they close with Yahweh and Ezra says very dramatically on the festival grounds. It's just a funny, but like he does that. Like I think we listened to Roskilde too, and he does that. I just think that's like a fun little like oh yeah, we are on the festival grounds.
I was wondering if in Pravda, because he says Irina grew up in Wisconsin. I was wondering if he would maybe change the state to Montana because it has the same amount of syllables. He did not do that, but I was like,
I mean, Irina grew up in Wisconsin, so that would be a lie.
Yeah, he would be lying about Irina.
Fair point. Yeah, God forbid.
That wouldn't be very proud though.
I actually okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so Music Midtown, probably number 2, because yeah, great set. I mean, let's see, what am I?
I mean, we know what number 3 is. Yeah, we do.
It
was a total solar eclipse.
It's Nashville 2019. No, I'm kidding. That was a great show.
That rich man went hard.
Yeah. But no. So yeah, Music Midtown 2019, White Sky, Cape Cod, Bambina, Unbelievers, Sympathy, Holiday, Blake's, just all just bangers. I mean, I love that show. We also got a live Giving Up the Gun, which is always a treat.
Nice.
But yeah, so I would say that's number 2, and then number 3, Eclipse show. I met the rest of the Crisis crew, appeared on an episode of Time Crisis, which was sick, and then also just like kind of the outside of the show, just like reconnecting with everybody that like or like, oh yeah, our favorite band, like all of our favorite band is actually like back, and just the vibes of that weekend were incredible. And obviously, great set list, great special guests, like just a killer show. So that's my top 3.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been to 7. I forgot that about the Irving show this year. I did. Yeah, I went to that one too. So I've been to 4 already.
All right, so top 3.
Top 3.
Ranked in order.
I think number 1 is the Eclipse show for me. And then maybe 2. I don't know. Sunday Bonner and then Saturday Bonner, maybe. They're all kind of tied for first though, if I'm being real. But
hell of a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think that I've already seen them 4 times this year, and it's like just halfway through. Like, that's nuts. Because I saw them 3 times in 2019, and they were all kind of back to back. Because I saw them for the first time Irving, I was on the lawn, and then I had a seat. Well, I had 3 seats, but I only needed 1 for their first Austin show. 3 free tickets to the same show, which is crazy. And then I was like barrier for the second Austin show, which was all very cool. And then Eclipse, Irving this year, and then the 2 Bonner shows. So total 7, and then I guess it'll be 10 if I go to the MSG shows. Which
even 10.
I will.
Even
I will
10.
at this point, and then
10.
Austin again. Yeah.
I'm shooting for an even 20 by the end.
Oh shit. That's crazy, dude. Like,
if I end up doing the 12 this year, I'll be up to 14.
Oh yeah.
Which is double digits is a big.
Double digits is a big deal.
Yeah.
I just hit double digits. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Jacob Shebeck, who's probably at like.
He said. Oh, I think Bonner Sunday was his 19th, or was
19?
his 8th? It was his 20th, I think.
Yeah, he's hitting 30 by the end of the year.
30 by the end of the year is
Oh
crazy.
shit.
Yeah.
See you in Colorado, Jacob. Okay. Hell yeah, dude. This is sick.
Only pod.
Only pod episode. Question mark.
9?
9?
I think 9.
Well,
What's the current one?
I think 7.
It's whatever the current is plus 1.
So I think this is 9.
I think the 9th.
I think the 9th.
Opwow 9.
Hello. 9. Oh no! God damn it, we can't hear.